Hello, Bigfoot enthusiasts. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess in the paddy wagon.
And welcome to our show.
Yes, and just so you know, the dog, our sweet Daisy, has wild hair up her butt tonight. So she may be demanding some screen time.
I don't know. She's being crazy tonight.
Oh, but it's time for you to play our intro.
Is it?
It is.
Welcome. All right. We have a great show for you tonight. We are actually going to be talking about the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot. As in the Bigfoot foot. So
we have talked about big feet before.
Yeah, but we're going to be breaking down the Bigfoot tonight.
The Bigfoot. Yes. Okay.
So so we got to say hi to Patty and hi Pink, Renee,
Patrick.
What?
You didn't say hi to Patrick.
Oh, hi, Patrick.
And hi, Patty. Good to see you this week. And Donna. Sharon. And Sharon. Yes. Sharon. She is the one that Joe, the Squatch and Cowboy, sent to us from Louisiana. Am I right?
I think you are.
Okay.
All right. And Donna, of course.
Oh, Donna's right. She says it's the storm coming. All of her animals are acting crazy. And Elsa is on her way up here.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. That's why.
Cold-hearted. She just needs to let it go.
I know. We are just the next.
Yeah, we're the next one on the map to get a little
after Donna.
Bit of whacking from Elsa.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. So as we get into this, so tonight I wanted to be talking about, hi Dale, I wanted to be talking about the Bigfoot, as in the Bigfoot. So last week we talked about how to cast, basically how to make these Bigfoot casts. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about how to analyze them and how to break them down and how to do the science part of it. And Hannah's going to sit and roll her eyes a lot.
I am going to sit, and I'm going to pay attention to the dog who's running back and forth, jumping on the bed, jumping down, coming in here and growling, jumping back on the bed. And so if we shake, it's the dog. Hey, Joe. Nice to see you. I hope you're feeling better. Joe learned an important lesson this last couple weeks.
What was that?
Don't go squatching during a heat wave.
Yeah.
Not the smartest thing.
Take a lot of water. A lot of water.
And honestly, the way it's been out west, just don't do it.
Okay.
Stay inside with the air conditioning.
Yeah, I think that is not right.
That's never right.
Okay. We're somewhere around the 70s here in the North Main woods. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. So, you ready to get into this?
Sure.
I'm so excited.
I have a question for you.
Yes. Does
Bigfoot get that crusty toe jam between his toes like humans do?
I don't know. I'll ask one next time I see one. So what I want to do is
something strangely satisfying about scraping that stuff out.
There's something wrong with you. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about how to identify a Bigfoot. A Bigfoot. So what we have here is Patty's foot from the famous Patterson-Gimlin film. I have a copy of this cast that I carry with me to events and stuff. And it shows us a lot. I mean, we have a lot of information here in this. And as I'm going to bounce the magic laser pointer around here.
Follow the bouncing ball?
Yeah. So if you look at the foot, we have basically some of the same stuff that we have. in our foot, you have the toes and you have a heel. You actually have the ball of the foot right here, just like we do. But one of the interesting things is this area right here. We have an arch that kind of goes right here. Well, this is more of an all the way across the foot kind of
bendy spot.
It's called the mid-tarsal break. You can see it in most of the casts, some better than others, but you'll be able to see a line like a dip in the foot all the way across here. And to give you an idea of what that looks like is, did that work? There we go. Okay.
He promised me he was going to push all the right buttons tonight.
I am pushing all the right buttons. I just had to push that one twice. So, so if we look at the foot here, we have, this is the Bigfoot foot, and this is a human foot. And like I said, you see the arch here, but in this depiction, you're probably not going to see the mid-tarsal break, which is right here. And if you look at the human toes, they progressively get smaller down to the little toe. So does the Bigfoot's, but it's less prominent. The toes there's a less difference between the size of them. And they're more of a straight line than what a human's is. There's kind of more of a curvature down. And some people are, of course, every individual is different. So, yes.
I could be totally wrong, but based on this weirdly produced sketch, it seems to me that a Bigfoot, that the toe structure would be more effective for gripping than the human.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, or traction wise, yeah.
Well, yeah, because our toes are primarily for balance.
Right. Right.
And for looking pretty during pedicures.
Mm-hmm.
See, he has no idea what to do with that.
All right, I have no idea. Hey, flat rock booger. That's a common name for Bigfoot, by the way. Booga. Okay.
I know. Like the woolly booger?
The woolly booger. Yep.
It sounds like a fuzzy booger coming out of your nose, but whatever.
So anyway,
he's just going to ignore me. I have nothing to do tonight. Nothing beneficial to add to this conversation. Renee's got it. Just say yes.
Yeah, I will. All right. So what I wanted to show you here now is a very interesting. This is more of the anthropological part that I'm really excited about. If you look at the difference now, these are drawn out foot structures between a human and a Bigfoot. So, honey.
Yes.
Is the Bigfoot on the right or the left?
It's on the left.
You're right.
I know. You know how I know? Primarily because you can't see me do that. Where's the little doohickey?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the arch right there. And also, I don't know if this is common in Bigfoot or not, but it is common in humans for the second toe to be longer than the first toe and also the third toe. In fact, by the shape of the toes and the length of the different toes, you can usually tell what ethnic group someone has come from in their ancestry. Ha!
Oh my gosh. Look at her. Laying down the knowledge. Everything you said was right. Yep.
Hey, would someone record that? Everything I said was right.
Yeah.
Sweet. We will never ever in the rest of our lives on this planet repeat that.
Yeah. Everyone wants to know why we're talking about boogers.
Because Pink, honestly, he's only 8 years old inside. Ask him.
No. Actually, the word booger is a southern word for what Bigfoot is, or some kind of monster.
Kind of like a boogie monster.
Boogeyman.
Did you? Yeah. And in fact, Pink, in Europe, primarily England, what comes out of your nose is not called a booger, it's called a boogie. Mm-hmm. And so boogers, boogies, whatever, it kind of means monster. And I've sneezed up a couple of those myself. And the dog, wild hair, now she's under the desk by our feet.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll try to live with this here. Anyway, so if what I wanted to point out on this here is, if you look closely, there's a difference in length between the phalanges, or the toes bones here. If you look, these are on a Bigfoot are actually longer than a human's. These are shorter than a human's. It's minute. You have to look closely. The ankles, or where the foot bends, or at your ankle right here, is primarily about located the same place as a human's, between a Bigfoot and a human. But the difference is this bone right here is much longer. This is the calcaneus. This is your heel bone. It's much longer than a human's bone. So that's why it looks like your ankle is attached further forward when you see a Bigfoot, or a depiction of it. It looks like the foot is attached forward, but it's not attached any further forward than humans are. It's just that their heel bone is longer than ours. So we're going to go into
I wonder why that is.
Because of weight.
It needs
more surface area to carry the weight. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to get there eventually.
So anyway, so if you look at how they step, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more detailed, but this is a depiction. I think this was drawn by Dr. Jeff Meldrum. But the foot of a human, if you look here, you got the arch, so our foot doesn't bend in the middle anymore. But a Bigfoot's does. They don't have the arch, since they have the flat foot, so their foot bends in the middle when they step forward. We actually rock off our toes when we walk. They rock off their ankle right here, where the mid-tarsal break.
So actually, humans tend to walk more tippy-toed.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And this is why it's easier for a human to wear a nice spiked high heel. And I don't think you could. I tried painting on a heel on my Bigfoot, and it didn't work too well because of that. The shape of the foot is just all wrong for shoes.
So I'm glad you're all here to find out that Bigfoot cannot wear high heels. That was our point tonight. Thank you for watching. No. Just
I hate you.
Sorry.
Hi, Gordon. It's really good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The dog got me laughing earlier tonight, and I just haven't been able to quite control myself yet.
All right. And so there's something that this points out that's really kind of interesting. Oh, my gosh. Oh, look, they're not even seeing us laugh. Look at this. I can't stand this. Okay. Oh, she's going to snort. It's going to happen. We need to catch this on tape. Zoom in on the camera here. No, okay. So
I once got detention in 4th grade for laughing too much in class. Just saying. It only happens every now and again, but now everyone has seen me laugh. Oh, okay, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Oh no. Okay. So, all right. So now we're gonna look and see what happens here. And this is something that we pointed out in the last 2 videos. Is we had the we talked about casting the Bigfoot and what the foot looks like, and how the Bigfoot walks because of that, because of the shape of the foot. And we also looked at it when we were doing that main video, when we were looking at that. And I'm going to show you a video of Patty here. And if you look really closely, if my computer just locked up.
Did it lock up, or did you freeze it?
Oh, there we go. All right. So if you look right here, when it comes back around, you'll see Patty's foot. You'll see the bottom of the foot almost immediately after the foot comes off the ground. You'll see the whole bottom of the foot. Humans do not walk like that. So
I'll bet if I walked like that, I wouldn't fall down so much.
So watch the feet right in this area. You see the foot come straight off the ground? And notice how she doesn't lock her knees, and she doesn't bounce. If you watch the top of the head now, next time it goes through, you notice there's no bounce. There's no up and down like a human walks. And of course, you got the conical head. So that's how you kind of tell the difference between a Bigfoot foot and a human. And that cuts you. Okay. So as we jump forward here, I'm going to have you guess. Look at this one. This is a footprint that I found a trackway of, gosh, it was like 8 or 9 footprints. So
in a creek bed,
in
that
a creek
was
bed.
Like how many feet up? Like
it
8,000,
was like 8,000 feet up.
up.
Yeah. And it was near a creek bed, and there was bear tracks next to these footprints. There was wolf tracks next to them. It was pretty interesting. In fact, I think you can see one of the wolf tracks right here.
Yep.
That was next to this footprint here. So
we're gonna have to stop here and do some dog discipline.
So I cast these, and then later on I got to look at them. If I can switch slides here. And this is what the cast came out like. And if you look really closely, we got a great slope on the toes right here, on both sides. And I think this is technically called a Egyptian toes. People who have very slanted toes tend to be of Egyptian origin. Like Hannah had pointed out earlier, you could tell by the different foot shapes.
Actually,
the ethnicity of the people.
Egyptian toes tend not to be. The second one won't necessarily be like a straight slant down. Mm. Celtic toes have that longer second toe, and then it goes like that. Right. Or Roman toes.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can see the arch in that. So these casts that we found out there, which some of them were like 8 inches into the mud, and the bear next to it was only a couple inches. And of course, these were like, what were they, like 11 and a half inches long, basically, or 11 inches. So these are most definitely a human. So if you look at our charts, you've got all the human characteristics in that 1 foot. Now, this next one is one that was taken 2019, the winter of 2019. This was up in the La Grande, Oregon area. If you look at this one, you see the toes are more straight across. You've got this big, wide, flat heel. We found, I can't remember how many of these. It was a bunch of them.
Was this the one up in the halfway area?
No, this is up in La Grande, above, up by Mount Emily.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's when you went with Pete and fell in the snow.
Yeah, we went snowshoeing to find these. So, but anyway, so this one, if you look at it with our chart, it meets all these criteria where it's wide, flat, round. So just a quick glance, you can tell immediately this isn't a human. So like if, say, you stepped in the snow as a human, barefooted, I don't know why you would, but if you did, and then you get the melt out when the snow melts, the tracks get bigger. So as it melts away, and sometimes people mistake human tracks as Bigfoot tracks that has, if they melted away, they got bigger. Like if you took a human foot and blew it up, basically. What happens is if you look at it, you can still tell the difference that that's a human foot. It's just bigger. it doesn't have the shape of a Bigfoot foot. So, and here's another one. This one we found up near a place called Tollgate, Oregon. This was kind of
near the Freeman site.
Yeah, near the Freeman site. This was really kind of close to, kind of halfway between the Tollgate store and Jubilee Lake. There's a swampy area down below. You get off the road and you go down off the hill, and there's a swampy area. And we found this track here. Unfortunately, I didn't cast it. I didn't have my casting material with me, and I came back 2 weeks later, and all this grass had grown up through it, and I couldn't find it. Well, I found where it was, but I couldn't cast it. But this one has the toes here, and you see this big long heel that comes around down here. And this is most definitely in the Bigfoot realm. There's no arch. There's the mid-tarsal break. You can see it right there.
Yep.
So definitely
and
a Bigfoot.
The square toes are pretty telling.
And the square toes are pretty telling. So that, again, meets our Bigfoot specimen. Now, this is a trackway that we found in Sturbridge, Massachusetts.
Those are definitely man-made big feet.
Those are definitely man-made big feet. But what's really interesting is the person who made these, I don't know who made them, but
they're about the right size.
They're about the right size and right shape for the depiction. So apparently the guy who made these for this is actually in a campground in Sturbridge.
Yeah, this is the Thousand Trails campground in Sturbridge, Massachusetts, and no, they don't sponsor us.
No, no.
Whatever. It's a nice campground, though. It has a nice little lake. And
yeah. But that actually, whoever made this depiction matched that.
Pretty well.
Pretty well. So, there's that.
We're having an interesting, I'm going to change the topic here for just a moment, because we're having an interesting conversation on the chat.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm kind of done with my little presentation for now. So
that's okay. So I wanted to speak to what's going on in the chat. It doesn't have anything to do with Bigfoot prints, but it has everything to do with the Bigfoot community, and maybe some of what, like Joe mentioned, that he's kind of wanting to stop uploading videos because he's losing subscribers. And there are 8,004 reasons why you could lose subscribers. And you know, there's all sorts of things that go on. But let me just bring some encouragement. Ultimately, whatever your expression in the world is, whether it's Bigfoot or music or politics or whatever your expression is, I would hope that we are all doing this for the sheer joy of it, because this is what we love. And I will tell you this, at the beginning of the pandemic, when we made that funny video about Bigfoot masking up, that's when our channel, which had been growing like wildfire, got shadow banned. And there have been times.
We went from getting 2,000 or 3,000 views per video to 200.
And now it's like down to what, 60?
Yeah.
And that's why we always ask you to like and share and spread the word. But here's the thing. This guy here has been multiple times that I should just stop this because I can't. There's nothing. What is wrong with our picture down there?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. There have been really discouraging things about doing this. And ultimately, we just have to speak the truth that we've experienced. And honestly, let the cards fall. Let the cards fall where they will, and do it for the joy.
Right.
Do it for the joy. Do it because we love to do it. I was actually just listening to a business podcast the other day. I listened to a lot of business development podcasts and things, and this gal said that she's convinced if you ever start a business to make money, you will most certainly fail. If you start a business to serve people, the money will follow. And so if we are trying to build a Bigfoot channel to put Cliff Barrickman out of business and be the next greatest thing, we're going to fail. If we are putting together Bigfoot channel because we love sharing this and we love connecting with our audience, whether there are 6 of you or 600 or 6,000 of you, then at some point in time, this is going to explode beyond our wildest dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to put that encouragement out there. So,
right. And for those of you who are here or following us or see this video, and then if you're making videos out here about Bigfoot, I encourage you just keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
And we need to work together, you know. So, if I haven't subbed to your channel, I am a jerk, and I'll go over and do that as soon as possible. And please sub to ours, and we need to work together. One of the reasons we started Squatch America, because we used to be this Blue Mountain Bigfoot Research in our little corner in the Blue Mountains of Oregon. But one of the reasons we started Squatch America, because we wanted to receive stories from everybody. We wanted to take the collective Bigfoot experience from everybody and put it together into one narrative, so we can actually talk about how Bigfoot lives. And we're doing that by just trying to get along with everyone. That's the point. And we're trying to as much as we can bring the Bigfoot collective together, because we have a common goal. And we need to work together to achieve that goal, basically. So I guess that's what I wanted to say. I mean, we're here for you, and if we hope that you're here for us.
Yeah.
Basically.
And with that said, please make sure you get on over to Patreon, because honestly, these are fun. I mean, you get to see me snort from time to time, and you can watch him be completely befuddled, not knowing what's coming out of his wife's mouth from minute to minute. And actually, I love doing that. But you know, subscribe to us on Patreon, because the way that we're really going to get to know each other is in our patron Zoom meetings. And so, and the reason that we charge on Patreon for that is that Zoom does cost money. And to do the quality love, like the StreamYard costs money every month, and the Zoom account to be able to bring multiple people together and have longer than just like 20 minutes to chat. I mean, we were on Zoom with Renee for like 2.5 hours the other night, and it was tons of fun. But that's where we can really get to know each other, because we can actually talk back and forth. Almost like real people in a real room with real cups of beverages. Yep. We like beverages.
Right. So, yeah. So, again, I mean, in this weird YouTube world that we have to live in now is,
it's not ideal.
It's not ideal, but if we like each other's stuff, if we share each other's stuff, that's important too. Share it on your other social media or wherever you can, get the word out for each other. I mean, that'll just help our Bigfoot community that we're trying to build together.
Yes,
and our friends.
Yes, Renee, Scott's secretary forgot to send the link.
What?
To the Zoom.
To the Zoom? I sent the link.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we sent it in Patreon, so you might have got it in your email.
Yeah, so I, for one, think there are way too many social media platforms, and I just can't keep track of all of them.
I know. And that's why we're kind of having a problem, because there's like Odyssey and a couple other we want to try to jump over to, but they're a little bit more complicated in some places, and there's a lot less people there, and it's hard. It's just
yeah. And so, Joe, you know, I'm glad you're not going to stop. And I, you know, I run a business, and I do it completely through social networking. And so I totally understand how frustrating it is when you're working so hard to build your audience and someone leaves. And here's what I've learned. It is never about, if someone is no longer my Facebook friend, it's not about me at all. It's about something on their end, you know. And if someone unsubscribes from a channel, it has nothing to do with the channel itself. It has to do with something within them.
Yeah.
Dipping into the metaphysical realm of human existence, I would highly recommend anyone to read the book The Four Agreements, and that's the first agreement that you have to make with yourself to live a happy life. Well, the second agreement. The first agreement is always keep your word.
Yeah.
But the second agreement is take nothing personally.
Right.
You know, if you guys love this channel, it's not us. It is something within you that resonates with this. But if at some point you weren't to like this channel, it wouldn't be us. It would be something on the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way humans work. So don't take it personally. And
don't. And now so would be a good time to say, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel,
please subscribe to our channel.
We are 4 people away from 1,500.
Are we really?
Yeah.
See, it's growing tiny bit by tiny bit by tiny. How far away are we from our first YouTube plaque?
I think that's 200,000 subscribers. So we got a ways to go. We are a tiny ways there.
Every step forward is a step forward.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot a goal for 10,000.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. See, he agrees with me. He says it's the best book ever.
Yep.
It is. It actually, I've been through a lot of therapy in my life. Some people say therapy is the best money they ever spent. I say it is the worst money I ever spent. But what I did get from therapy was that book. And that book, The Four Agreements, did more for me than years of therapy ever did.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, and I know a lot of you have subbed a long time ago. Cowboy just said that. So, and I understand that. I appreciate it greatly. So we just need to keep liking and sharing. And then there's another comment I just saw. What was that? Bigfoot community equals family, which is true.
Yeah, we're all just so quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has that cousin or that uncle that you're like, oh, I hope he doesn't come to Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you,
love him anyway.
Yeah. Tell you, I got really discouraged a few months ago when someone posted on our YouTube channel. They basically said, Hannah, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not funny. And this is supposed to be a serious Bigfoot show. And that, I could have taken that personally for more than 2 minutes, but I didn't. And I think that person unsubscribed, and that, more power to them. But
yeah. And that's really interesting to me, because you need to take this seriously. I do take it seriously,
but we don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, and how serious can you be? I mean, we're a group of people that walk into the woods looking for an 8-foot gorilla,
banging on trees, leaving out Nutella jars.
And yeah. Or sitting in the middle of the woods at night going, whoop! So how seriously can we be?
And really, especially since last year, humor is the only way we get through anything.
Yes, true.
Oh. So anyway, point being, take nothing personally. Let's all laugh at ourselves and just move forward together.
Yep. So
we're all in this together.
We're all in this together. We're going to go down with the ship.
Yeah. It's true. If you ain't having fun, you ain't living.
Yep.
Because what else can you can't control anything in the world except how you respond to it. And I choose to respond a lot like Lucille Ball. I would like to think I was channeling her.
Yep. All right.
I need to go stuff my face with some chocolate truffles now. And some Vitamita Vegemin.
I think I saw Denise on. Denise is on, right? Yeah, she's there. Denise.
Yeah, she's there.
Is there whoopie pies in your house?
No, there are no whoopie pies in your house.
Just checking. So.
I am 2 pounds away from my goal. Get thee behind me, whoopie pie.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam is on.
Sam.
That's Sam.
Oh, hi, Sam.
What else do you got? What else do you got for us, Dr. Squatch?
Ooh, Denise says, yes, there is whoopie pies at her house.
I think she loves you more than she loves me, or she's trying to, I don't know.
She's my sweet stealer. Leave her alone. So, anyway, does anybody have any questions about the Bigfoot foot we were talking about tonight? Let's get back on topic.
Or else it's going to be a really short show.
Yeah. So,
what was that?
All right, I'm just humming while I'm switching
that was
slides
more like
here.
air percussion.
Yeah, it was. So,
Denise has peanut butter bars and lemon bread.
No whoopie pies? A whoopie pie? All right, so
shall I divulge my dirty little secret?
oh, so somebody actually said that was the first time they heard about Egyptian toes. Yeah, there's I don't have a chart in my head.
No, there are several different foot shapes in the human species.
In the human species, yeah. More of like the European's foot, that's where you get the second toe
longer than
the first. That's a European descent person. Egyptians or the Southeast or Southwest Asia. I can't remember which one that is.
That's Africa. Egyptian is from Africa.
Yeah, so
the African subset of humans
has more of the slant to their toes. What's the other ones? The
Asians and Native Americans
are more of a kind of a straight across kind of thing, typically. So. Yeah, and in case you didn't know that, each ethnic group basically has a different shape to their foot. And we can go into another weird shape. While we're talking about Bigfoot feet, there is that conundrum about the Boggy Creek monster. That
the
three-toed Boggy Creek monster. There's that conundrum. Like, why is there 3 toes? Why does some of these Bigfoot have 3 toes? Some have 5 toes. Some seen with 4.
We have a very politically incorrect answer for that.
Because they're inbred Southern.
They're inbred. They've been marrying their cousins for too long.
That's exactly the truth, though. There's actually, when I was going through anthropology school, one of the things we studied was genetics and inbreeding of humans. And there's a tribe in Africa called the ostrich people, and they literally have 2 toes that are split like an ostrich foot. And the whole tribe does, because because of the inbreeding in the tribe, they were kind of isolated tribal individuals, and over the years, their feet, morphed into a 2-toed type foot. So that is quite possibly the same thing that happened to the Boggy Creek monster. Okay. Why it has 3 toes is just inbreeding. I'm sure there are some areas in the United States or the world where Bigfoot populations are pretty limited to where the area they're at, and there's probably inbreeding involved.
Yeah. So we've had some interesting comments
about
About toes. Let's see. Who asked it? I just saw it. I saw it. Who asked? Sovereign. Yes. Aren't there Lemurian toes? And honestly, I had no idea what you were talking about. Have you heard of the Lemurians?
No.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Then we're going into galactic star beings.
So here was his comment.
Yes.
Aren't there?
So I had to look this up. And apparently, according to some old tales, the Lemurians were the original indigenous brown to dark-skinned colored people who walked and lived upon the face of the earth for eons of time as earth keepers of our earth mother. So, and there could be 11. There's quite a bit about the Lemurians. I'm going to have to research that because that sounds really interesting to me.
That's your area.
The really super weird stuff.
That's woo.
I don't know. Do you know, Sovereign, you'll like this? When we were first married, and he was of course, very, he was quite the devotee of Art Bell, this guy. In fact, we went to sleep every night. Or he went to sleep every night listening to Coast AM. And as soon as he was snoring, I would turn the radio off because I couldn't sleep with it on. And now I get back to him because now he gets to listen to my sleepy time meditations while I go to sleep. But he used to suggest that I really wasn't human, that I was far more Palladian, that I came from the Pleiades system. And but unfortunately, my DNA says I don't have a drop of Scandinavian blood in me, so that's probably not the case.
Yeah, not the case. I actually have Scandinavian blood.
So you're the Pleiadian.
I'm the Pleiadian.
Okay.
So there's that.
And Pink wants to know if we've heard Bigfoot noises around us here.
Actually, we have here in Maine. In fact, somebody was just stating the other night, and one of the people who were in a tent around us over here was saying they heard some interesting sounds the other night, sort of a whoop. And I've got a friend of mine, which is over in the Mexico, Maine. Yeah, there's a town in Maine called Mexico.
And the reason they're named Mexico is because didn't they send people to fight with the Mexicans during
the Spanish-American
War?
I think so.
And they were really quite, they wanted Mexico to be free from Spain or something like that.
I can't remember, whatever. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, here's a Maine fact. Want a weird Maine fact?
Oh yes, please. I love Maine facts.
Weird Maine fact. The state of Maine has sent more troops into more conflicts than any other state in the United States.
Yeah.
More people.
True.
They are patriotic warrior people here in the state of Maine. Or they're just maniacs, one of the two. But either way, take your pick. So, little Maine fact. So anyway, Mexico, Maine, over in Mexico, Maine, we've got some weird stuff happening right now. In fact, I got a text yesterday, and hopefully Mike has got some recordings for me. He's trying really hard to do that. And so that's kind of interesting. What else is happening? We've got, did we get sounds? No. I've got more rocks thrown at me here in Maine than anywhere else. That's kind of an interesting thing up here. In fact, Denise has had rocks, I think. Denise and Dale, they got rocks thrown at them. We got rocks thrown at us here in, when did we get here? In May, we got rocks thrown at us here.
I've had nothing. I think Bigfoot is going to leave me alone because they know if they take me out, that is no jalapeno poppers for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's plausible.
And I
see, he's totally ignoring me again.
Yes, I'm reading the chats here.
So on next week's show, does Bigfoot like jalapeno poppers?
No, we're not going to. Hannah tends to think that Bigfoot likes jalapeno poppers, but
because who wouldn't?
oh, that's kind of interesting, Donna. Yeah, Donna said it would be interesting to see what the weather. We've got the tail end of the Elsa coming. That's another thing about Maine, in case you didn't know, and probably Vermont also, is
well, all of New England.
All of New England, basically. Every hurricane that hits Florida or Texas or ended up the Gulf Coast or up the Atlantic edge over here,
it works its way up.
All of it works its way up. By the time it hits Maine, it's just basically a pretty bad storm, thunderstorm, rainstorm, usually up here where we're at, but they catch every single one of them. So no matter where it hits land, it gets
sucked right up here.
It gets sucked right up here. But like I said, most of the time it's just a storm by the time it gets here. In fact, all the time it's just a storm by the time it gets here. But we get a fair amount of rain up here. Hence all the
Donna
trees.
Says with all the rain, we might get some good prints.
Yep, that's true too. And Maine's pretty swampy as it is. So,
hey, that would be an interesting thing because we know how the moose like to hang out in the bogs and the marshes. I wonder if those would be good squatching spots.
They might be. We might check that out.
Because I wonder who would win, a Bigfoot or a moose.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a pretty tight competition.
Yeah. So, with that said, we've got.
Do we see Sasquatch rock stacks here in Maine? Absolutely.
Yes.
All over the freaking place. It's like they're almost like shrines everywhere.
And that could be one of two things. One, it could be people.
Because who doesn't love to stack rocks and
right.
Go, ooh, how zen.
But there's a lot of glacier rock drops here. That's another one. But there are rock stacks up here because if you have, that's another thing. If you haven't been to Maine, I think they cornered the market on rocks. I mean, holy cow, granite everywhere, big boulders because of all the glacier drops and stuff.
So, but yeah, we've seen weird rock stacks in crazy out of the way places.
Yeah, we have.
So, and now why do Bigfoot stack rocks?
I think it's either quite possibly a
keep talking
territorial marker, possibly could be a message to another Bigfoot.
Keep talking.
Could be this is an interesting thing, and this is something that Cliff Berrickman and I had talked about too, is there's a weird thing about Bigfoot, and people put out toys and stuff once in a while, or they put out marbles and they put out rocks, they stack them on logs and stuff, and they will take them and rearrange them into groups of 3 and stuff like that. So there's quite possibly that Bigfoot has a tendency to be OCD about things.
So they're like vampires.
They're like vampires.
Well, vampires are OCD. Oh, okay. Patty, if I am not seeing your question, so could you drop your question back in the chat? I've been looking up and down the chat and I can't find it. Doesn't mean it's not there. It means that I'm not seeing it. So just drop it back in the chat and we'll answer. I'm serious. I looked all the way. It's
okay. So with that said, while we're waiting for that, I also wanted to say, what was that? What did I want to say?
I have absolutely no idea.
Upcoming stuff. I wanted to do our upcoming stuff.
Upcoming stuff next week. Does Bigfoot like jalapeno poppers?
No. We haven't had a chance yet, but I'm going to force myself to make time. I'm going to force Dale to make some time, and we're going to get to that location where that Bigfoot film.
It's only an hour away.
Yeah, film was taken. We're going to find that place. We're going to do a little research there. So
a little reconnoitering,
and we'll put out a video on that. It probably won't be a live. It'll probably be a regular video. We are going to definitely do that. And then
August 8th.
August 8th. If you can get up here to Maine, we'd love to see you.
I will have the announcement for our August 8th Bigfoot event on the website by this weekend.
Okay.
So
Dale said he's starting vacation tomorrow, so here we go.
All righty then.
Yep. So there's that.
And then after August 8th or 7th, actually it's August 7th.
Thank you,
August
Dale.
7th. Thanks. Around about August 9th, maybe the 10th or somewhere, depending on how long it takes us to pack up and get out. We will be starting our trek back across the country to go to Oregon. And we will be in Oregon we will be in Southern Oregon, Josephine County. I'm at the Wolf Creek Inn for the State of Bigfoot conference the last weekend of August. And then we are headed over to Eastern Oregon so that we can, we're going to be doing a Bigfoot day up in the Tollgate area. And
we haven't got the dates nailed down for that.
We're still working on that. We'll be in Yakima, Washington in October for whatever conference that is. And that way we get to visit all of our kids and our grandkids and our adopted kids and all the kids.
All the kids.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know who you are.
You know who you are. So.
Talking to you, Sam.
And Pink.
And Pink. And who else is on there? Okay.
So, Patty, did you put your question up again? I'm literally not seeing it.
And I don't think there's a way to sort these, so we can just.
No, I wish we could. There are new comments.
Patty, I just saw one. She said, there you have a new sub. Thank you very much.
I think she was subbing to Joe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for subbing to Joe.
Okay. So go down to the bottom. It says there are new comments.
Patty, yes.
I am not seeing your question. I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
Stop scrolling.
Okay.
You're going crazy. I'm going to go all the way back up to the top.
Anyway, so with that, please go over and check us out on Patreon. Link in the description below. And any last minute questions here for us on this live?
Some people say Bigfoot walks on all fours.
Okay, there's that question.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. And Patty asked we know Pink asked if we'd heard Bigfoot noises around us, but Patty.
If so, would that change the footprint?
Yeah.
Actually, it probably would not. Mainly, it wouldn't change the footprint because of the way their foot works. They're fairly flat-footed, and since their foot bends in the middle, it might end up with just having the front half of the foot. That could be possibly it if they're on all fours. In fact, I think I've seen casts like that. Just the front half of the foot.
On all fours? That would be awfully hard for a biped to walk on all fours.
Not if your foot bends in the middle and you got long arms.
Very true.
And I have seen Bigfoot knuckle prints. That's why I'm doing the knuckles. I've seen Bigfoot knuckle prints. So I know, yeah, absolutely. They probably walk on all fours on occasion. I've got stories and seen videos of people talking about seeing them drop on all fours. And mainly that is a flight situation where they're running really fast, trying to get away. Especially if they're in like rougher terrain or whatever.
And they need more traction.
They need more traction, or they can hide better. But yeah, all fours is a thing. That's definitely a thing. Yeah, and we have heard Bigfoot sounds around us.
Yep. Okay. Well, are there any more questions?
Please Okay.
I just thought of something we can add to the reward tier for Squatch Americans.
What's that?
Not Squatch Americans, but for the inner circle.
Uh-huh.
I could send them all my jalapeno popper recipes. I just found a recipe today for jalapeno popper chicken salad.
Ooh. So put in the description if you like jalapeno poppers. No.
Sorry.
Hannah makes a killer jalapeno bacon wrapped jalapeno popper
and a killer jalapeno popper chicken casserole. And now I need to do this jalapeno popper chicken salad. I love jalapenos and I love yeah, anyway. I have a dirty little secret.
Oh no.
So
you've got 5 minutes.
I got 5 minutes. Yeah, my dirty little secret is I found a new favorite YouTube channel. And it's everything that I don't stand for. I stand for health and fitness and longevity. And my new favorite YouTube channel is called The Hillbilly Kitchen. And tonight she made preacher cake. And I went, oh my holy Lord, I want to have me some cake.
Okay.
And I have been living vicariously through this Southern cook. Everything from divinity to 2-ingredient fudge to hand-dipped homemade chocolates to preacher cake. I think I'm having a bit of a relapse into sugar addiction.
Oh, no.
I haven't actually eaten any of it, but I've sure been kind of like watching her channel a lot going, ooh.
Okay.
That's my dirty little secret.
All right. So I hope you learned a little bit about a Bigfoot foot today. And a lot about us, so in our community, and thank you for being a part of our community.
Thank you so much. We do love all of you.
Yeah, we love you all.
And actually, when we don't do these, for whatever reason, when we have to skip an episode, we miss you guys.
We do. So, with that said, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Our job, of course, is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, keep it squatchy.
And go out and find Bigfoot.
Bye.
Bye.